deeper understanding of the drought monitor isn't just colors being painted on a map. There's a lot of
rationale
process
behind it. There's a reason for
that
it.
goes into it.
Yep.
So let's get into the latest countdown.
Hey. Spring,
Woot,
summertime.
woot.
All
Well,
right, then.
look at Tiny
Tommy.
Look,
Sprouts. Oh, that boy.
Oh, he's
ready to go. That boy. Cinco de Mayo, less than a month away. Mother's Day 34. Don't forget Mother's Day.
Yes.
Can't forget the mothers.
No,
Yep.
Memorial Day right after that. That's that big 3-day
Holy
weekend everybody
cow.
loves. And then July 4th is Independence Day is 89 days
Holy
away.
Wow.
cow.
Less than 90
Independence
days.
Day is 3 months away. Wow.
When that pops up on there, you know it's about to warm up.
Oh,
Yeah,
It ain't too far.
That's like the big red neon sign of
Yes.
danger.
Exactly.
There's heat
Yeah,
coming.
Exactly. So, so we're kind of heading into that part. So I think now we're up to videos, I believe.
No, we got the
No, we got trivia.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
we got to get the
trivia
trivia
in there. Yes. Okay, Darius.
So on the topic of drought, we were talking about the historical droughts that we've had over the last 100 years here, and which one has been the most devastating drought in the U.S. Was it the Dust Bowl in the 30s, the Great Plains drought in the 50s, the 2012-2013 U.S. drought, or the 1988 North American drought?
Jim, what do you think?
Okay, I have a rationale for going with this. I'm going to go with the Dust Bowl 1930s, because not only was it that was going on, but they also had the Great Depression at the same time. So you put both those together, I'm thinking that's, I could be wrong, because those others are right up there too, but I think this.
I have to agree that it's the Dust Bowl. If you haven't heard of the book, The Worst Hard Time,
yes.
it's about
That's
the Dust Bowl in the Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma Panhandle, and you kind of get a little bit of a little peek of what it was like to live in that time. So I'm going with the Dust Bowl as well.
And you guys are absolutely spot on. I don't even want to try to jinx
you. Try to stray us into another direction.
Still to this day, almost 100 years ago, the Dust Bowl is the most devastating drought the U.S. has ever seen. Cause of the drought, a combination of severe drought and poor farming practices caused repeated dust storms that led to ecological disasters and some impacts of the drought. Millions of acres of farmland was destroyed, millions of people were displaced, major crop failures also contributed to a major economic collapse, and it happened in the Great Depression.
Well,
so it was just...
and two, back then, you look at the farming now, it's so much more technology advanced than back then. So there was a lot of learning. So that taught a lot, that Dust Bowl.
That was a hard lesson to learn. It wasn't just the fact that there wasn't a whole lot of rain around. There were many more mitigating factors that went into it.
Yep. So good one. We're kind of getting that drought thing going on.
Yeah.
Good job.
Now it's video time.
Okay.
And you know we got to talk about Artemis. We got to talk about Artemis and show you that just
I can just feel the floor shaking.
Oh, just the immense power that it's so cool to watch, and I know it was just one of those amazing, memorable things to watch that massive.
I have a friend of mine that was there. Do you think they invited me? No.
So you got to catch the next one.
Yeah. I keep saying that every year.
But I think it was over the weekend. They passed the halfway point, and today is the day that they are supposed to make that loop around the backside of the moon and then start making their way.
And they're
back
putting out
to us.
some really beautiful shots.
Oh yeah.
So we got a little bit of that here on this video. Look at that.
Shots.
And these high quality shots that we're gonna have. You
didn't get this in 1972.
No, you did.
Definitely didn't.
These pictures are amazing.
Just the crispness, the clarity. You can see the thin layer of the atmosphere just on that outside
dust
edge.
Out there look like on just wow.
Yeah,
it's just amazing.
They say that this where they're in is basically put two minivans together, and that's their space.
Wow.
Not much more than that.
Not much more than that. Yeah.
Two minivans.
Thank goodness they all like one another.
You have to like each other. Absolutely.
You have to like each other.
Oh, there's some ice damage from Wisconsin, that storm system from earlier in the week, and it
They had
caused
ice
some
storm
havoc.
warnings up there.
Yeah, ice storm warnings.
All the way up into the UP. Yep.
Yeah, so definitely had some pretty unfortunate impacts from the ice storm. And on the leading edge, we had severe weather that led to damaging winds and tornadoes.
There were a couple tornadoes with that as well.
Exactly.
And so this is one a very photogenic funnel cloud there near in Tazewell County in Illinois there, and it's definitely that time of year we start to see a little bit more of this as we get into April. It's
been kind of early this year, but you know there's more to come.
Oh yeah, we're definitely not done. The good thing is this was occurred in open field, so really not much impacted by this one, but it was a pretty photogenic one.
Yep.
And we had some storm damage across really a good bit of the Midwest Ohio Valley region, and this was actually
that's a big tree.
tornado.
Yeah.
That's a big tree.
Roots and everything, it looks like.
Yeah, so they had some pretty extensive damage up into the Ohio area there, really over the past couple of days, that storm system that moved through.
Wow,
That is wow.
Yeah,
And here's more damage.
Little bit more damage from
Wow.
Illinois as well. We had that some of those storms going on through.
Yeah.
All right, don't forget you can find us on the old socials: Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and X.
All over the place.
Find us, connect with us, say hi if you want to just stop by, or if you want to give us some grief, you can do that too.
If you go to him, he'll enter you for a prize to win.
I have a giveaway.
Yeah, you didn't know that.
I got to figure out what I got to give away. All right, y'all, that's going to do it for this week, or for this episode of Risk Zone. We'll be back later on in the week. Don't forget, if you have anything going on weather-wise, make sure you're checking in with your local Nexstar station and your local National Weather Service office for the latest forecast updates, severe weather information, and make sure you stay weather aware.
always.
All right, y'all take care. We'll see you later in the week. And the button.
Alrighty then.
We're Fatty 15, the science-backed, award-winning supplement that helps reverse aging at the cellular level.
Gives your body the armor.
Not only does it strengthen my cells, but it's really helped with my overall well-being.
Just one capsule a day, backed by science. Shop now at fatty15.com.
It's a celebration 100 years in the making. The National Route 66 Centennial Kickoff Celebration presented by Vital Farms, featuring new landmarks, exhibits, car shows, a kickoff concert, and more. Visit Route66Kickoff.com for complete details.
Welcome to the Lake of the Ozarks. Hi, I'm Jordan Salisbury, the owner and founder of the Salisbury Real Estate Team and Salisbury Property Management. Born and raised here at Lake of the Ozarks, I've loved growing up here, and I'm now raising my young family here.
I don't see any fish.
I've been selling the lake for almost 20 years, and we specialize in selling and managing lakefront property. So whether you're buying like a local, staying like a local, we want you to live like a local.
A rapid rundown of the local headlines, stories shared, viral videos, plus the features and facts before they hit your feed. You're watching The Daily Scroll with me, Bailey Stroll.
Hello and welcome to Monday.
Okay. Didn't know you were going to play up the cry.
I feel like I have to say I'm not crying, even though it might look like it. Actually, it's gotten better in the past couple of minutes. Oh my goodness.
I was going to say,
I'm just so emotional to be back.
I don't think anyone would have noticed.
After taking Friday off. I know, well, I also thought I had a tear on my shirt, so I thought I was going to have to explain that, but here we are. No, I put my contacts in. Contact wearers might know this, but you don't wear contacts, do you?
No.
Got that perfect eyesight?
2020.
Huh? Well, I don't know. Sometimes when I put my contacts in, it burns. And I just washed my hands. I had just washed them really good with soap. And I put them, maybe it was that. I don't know. Something, it burned when I put them in bad. And it made me look like I was crying.
You know, actually, the story I tell about my eyesight is that when I was in like middle school, we had like a group come in and test our eyesight. And they were like, you should go get double tested. I was like, oh no. So I went to like an eye doctor and they told me, if you were 4, we would give you glasses, but you're 14. So we're going to say you're good. Let us know if you ever have trouble night driving.
Huh.
That's the story I always tell. So.
And then you've never had
trouble. I never had trouble night driving, so I guess
have you been tested since 14?
I think so, but like nobody ever raised any alarm bells, so I guess it's fine. I guess I can see.
Huh. I mean, I guess that doesn't really... I thought they were going to say you're like a prodigy. You need to go get tested again to make sure that your eyesight's so good.
Because it's so good. Yeah, we want proof. You're going to go down in a Guinness Book of World Records as such good eyesight. No, that's my way of saying I actually don't think I have probably that good of eyesight, but it's fine, I guess.
It's doing... Well, you don't have to read a teleprompter. That's the true test.
Yeah.
To read a teleprompter.
That would do it.
I was one of those that I wanted glasses so bad that when I wouldn't say that I flubbed my eye test in 6th grade, but I definitely didn't try too hard. And then when they finally said I needed some, I was like, yes.
You purposely failed a thing you probably weren't going to be good at anyway.
Yeah, I probably needed them anyway. They did make things a little clearer, but
That's
then
really funny. You were like,
I found out later that once you get glasses, it just makes your eyesight worse
on them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Which I have gone.
So maybe you never needed glasses. Wow.
One of these days, I did get better than I improved from one year to the next. I must have been eating more carrots that year.
That's okay. Whatever.
But now I just went down again. I was the same for a long time. I just went to the eye doctor last week. Now I just went down again. Now I'm at a -2 in one eye, whatever that means. But I just tried out these new contacts. I'm looking. I'm gonna be able to see the prompter that much better today.
See, I remember one of the first times I ever saw you at least wear glasses on the air, because I was like, "What's happening?" And
I had a sty.
You had a sty. And
I remember now.
And now every time you wear glasses, I'm like,
For the longest time, I thought it would be like somebody would get mad at me here at work, or not that they would, but like they would be like,
picky about
you can't do that. Like you can't just switch it up. Now I switch it up a couple times a week. It's mostly just because, I started running out of contacts. They're expensive, and I sometimes get, like, if I don't put them in by this time and I'm wearing glasses, my makeup gets messed up there, so I just got to roll with it.
Did you have braces?
Of course I had braces.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You think I was born with these?
I don't know.
They didn't come out looking like this, this straight. No, I had braces for a long time, which I was just telling somebody yesterday that these two canine teeth, when I got braces in 8th grade, they were... This one and this one were baby teeth.
Oh.
In 8th grade, they never came down and pushed the
others out.
others
Missed out on like $1 from.
Yeah, I missed out on like $2 from the what was I almost said Easter bunny.
Tooth fairy. We're
the tooth
coming
fairy.
out of Easter. That's okay.
And I had to have surgery to get them removed, and then I had in 8th grade didn't look the way I look now. I had a bit of a glow up. I was walking around with no teeth there. They had gold chains hanging from my gums, and every time I went to the orthodontist, they have to take one link out of the gold chain to pull it down. So for the longest time, I had these 4 teeth and then a wire going. It was not a good look, let me tell you.
I mean, gold chains, that makes it seem like fancy.
I still have them somewhere. I should turn them in to a pawn shop and
see if they're worth anything.
And get my $2 back.
Yes,
there you go.
It all came around.
It probably would be about $2. Oh my gosh, full circle. Okay, well today we got a couple of events happening in the Ozarks over the summer. Summer event roundup. I don't know if you guys will be interested in any of these, but I sure was.
But not the Route 66 things you're expecting.
No. This is completely different. Totally different. And I'm not saying that I'm gonna go. I'm just saying that they're interesting.
And we have a story on it.
Yes. And then later on, the theme for our viral videos is wildlife, of course. And we've got a mountain lion kitten that's being cared for now, and it is just the cutest thing ever. And then a bear that's doing something extremely silly on video, and I can't wait to show you. And then later on, we're going to be talking about food, but I'll leave it at that because I don't want to give it away. All right. So first, this summer event roundup in the Ozarks. This has been our top story. The reason I'm talking about this.
Are we calling this the Daily Thread?
Yes. Oh, the local thread. Yes.
Okay.
Almost forgot.
I didn't know how local it was. I couldn't remember.
Max Creek Mo. We're taking you up to Max Creek Mo, which is along the Lake of the Ozarks, near Lake of the Ozarks. So this has been the top story on our website today. I can tell you. We looked at the numbers. It's the top story on the website. The Juggalos, if you're familiar. I was not until Jesse Inman actually told me about it a little bit ago. The Juggalos are having their, I think it's the 26th annual. Last year was a big one, 25th annual meetup. This year's 26th, going to happen in Max Creek. And if you don't know, the Juggalos are a very devoted community.
Whoop, whoop, says the organizers. Sorry.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Catherine wrote that. That is pretty funny. I don't... See, this is a lot going over my head. Maybe there's something to that. Well, they are the dedicated fans of the horrorcore rap duo Insane Clown Posse. So if you're not familiar with the ICP, They were founded in 1994, and they've been going hard for 26 years now when it comes to an annual gathering. Of course, they are a horrorcore rap group. I played some for myself before the show.
And thoughts?
And if I would have came around to this, I was telling Jesse, if I would have came around to this in high school,
You might have
I might have liked
enjoyed it, but you've grown
Yeah.
as a person since
But
then. and
now
I think
it's
that's
too far gone.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think they label themselves, as a family of misfits. And everybody's got their thing. And some people have this as their thing. And honestly, the event looked pretty cool. It looks like a gathering of legends, they call it. And if you want to go, it's available August 19th through the 22nd at Mother Nature's Riverfront Retreat, which is in Max Creek. Tickets go on sale 8 p.m. Friday, April 24th through this event's website, I believe. And they are you saw the face paint. That might give you an indication of what we're talking about here. It was honestly like, they're going to be camping. It was like, when I saw the video, it was like a fair mixed with a, what is that? Like Bonnaroo or what's the other one? Coachella.
Coachella. Okay, that's what I was
But on a
thinking.
smaller
okay.
scale, and everybody's wearing black and white face paint.
Yeah, I was going to say like a big music
So
event, but yeah, lots of
if you
craziness
happen,
going on.
yeah, if you happen to be in the Lake of the
Not for
Ozarks
the faint of
area,
heart, but yes, if that's your thing.
or you want to go, or you're around that weekend at the end of
Just
August,
know it's coming. Just know
and you
it's
start, and you're like,
on its
why are
way.
all these
Yeah,
people?
that's why.
We let you know. Also,
on a whole
something-
different vibe. Yeah.
Yes. Who knew Billy Bob Thornton has his own band, and he's bringing his band to the Galois in July, the day after we honor our nation on July 4th. He will be at the Galois Theater in Springfield with the Boxmasters. I did not know. I knew that
You knew Billy Bob Thornton.
Dennis Quaid had a band,
Oh, yeah.
and I actually met him once.
Do you know
But
Keanu Reeves has a band?
now, no, I didn't know that either.
He came
so many
like,
bands
close by. We had ads running for Keanu Reeves' band, and it doesn't ever say Keanu Reeves, so I watched that ad multiple times and went, "Do I know that guy?" And
They
it was
need
Keanu
to
Reeves.
put in the star power,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
maybe it would get more tickets.
No, I think that's fun for him. I think he just likes
he doesn't
to-
seem like the guy that
Yeah,
would want to
hang
put
on.
it out.
Anyways, what do you know about Billy Bob Thornton? Because we were talking about this beforehand, and I've never seen.
The only thing I know about him is Bad
Oh.
Santa,
Oh right.
and which you've never seen.
No.
And his brief little romance with Angelina Jolie,
Oh. Is that
because
who? Okay.
they had a very famous red carpet
Sure.
time
Okay.
back in the
Yeah.
early 2000s, 90s.
I
I
also-
think this is all the same person. I
Yeah,
hope
I
I'm
also-
talking about the same person.
I also was like, he's the landman, and that meant.
And I
something
didn't
does.
know
I
that.
didn't
So
know-
he's back on
TV.
on TV now.
could
I
watch
didn't know that.
Billy Bob Thornton himself.
Well,
on
people
TV
have been
or
raving
at the
about the
Galois.
Landman.
Have
So
they? Okay. I've heard a
not
little bit
the
about
Landman. You haven't heard
Landman.
anything about it?
I've heard a little bit, but no.
I've heard good things. So,
Okay,
but I
sure.
didn't know. I never.
Didn't know
I, mean,
Billy
I
Bob
haven't
Thornton.
heard good things and Billy Bob Thornton in the same sentence. I don't think ever. So it's surprising to me.
Wow, we're out of our depth. That's all right.
I know, we're talking about things we don't know about, but I just want to let you all know. So he's going to have this show on July 5th at 7:30. Doors open at 6:30, and tickets go on sale. Oh, it doesn't say. But they plan to perform. They were formed back in 2006, and they blend rock, country, and blues. Strong influence from music of the 1960s. So, actually, it doesn't sound too bad.
Oh my gosh, Billy Bob Thornton was in The Gray Man. I watched that.
The
Gray Man with Ryan
Gray Man?
Gosling. Gray Man, the color.
Huh.
It also has Chris Evans in it. Anyways, move on.
He's still around. Who knew? And now he's touring. So, In the Bay is what the newest album is called. It's set to release their 21st album. Wow. Okay. So that's a couple of things you can do this summer if you want. Now, when we come back, we have just the absolute most adorable. If you like felines, this is right up your alley, okay? It's not an alley cat, but it's a different one. Different kind of cat. And it is a 3-week-old kitten that just needed a little help, and now it's getting the help it needs. So we'll show you that video. And then a bear trying to make off with a dumpster. And I'm not joking. It literally is trying, it's on its hind legs, and it's trying to make off with an entire dumpster. Goes to show they're pretty strong. If you didn't know, bears are pretty strong. And we're going to show you that when we come back.
It's a celebration 100 years in the making. The National Route 66 Centennial Kickoff Celebration presented by Vital Farms. Featuring new landmarks, exhibits, car shows, a kickoff concert, and more. Visit Route66Kickoff.com for complete details.
Welcome to the Lake of the Ozarks. Hi, I'm Jordan Salisbury, the owner and founder of the Salisbury Real Estate Team and Salisbury Property Management. Born and raised here at Lake of the Ozarks, I've loved growing up here, and I'm now raising my young family here.
I don't see any fish.
I've been selling the lake for almost 20 years, and we specialize in selling and managing lakefront property. So whether you're buying like a local, staying like a local, we want you to live like a local.
Welcome to the only podcast that I know of that starts with two meteorologists actually loosening their tie.
You guys don't know what it's going to be an hour.
He'll say, nope, time to roll the window back up.
Watch Two Dudes in a Doppler, Thursdays at 12:30 on Ozarks First Plus.
I have to try to say as many of these song titles on air that we can in the next week.
These are just swells that are generated by these tropical systems, and they hit the coastline.
We'll have to wear this tie on air. You already got the tie ready to go.
I'm a United States Marine. Being a veteran, you don't want to show any weakness, so it becomes really hard for you to ask for anything. Every veteran is deserving the benefits they earned by serving our country.
All right, so at the Oakland Zoo in California, they took on an orphaned mountain lion. You don't get to see this every day, up close and personal. A little kitten, 3 weeks old. And the name, oh, so cute, Crimson. Oh. I like it. I like the name. I don't know where it comes from, but I like it. It was first rescued by the National Park Service before being brought to the Los Angeles Zoo. And it underwent a health check, and it was getting feeds and minimal human contact, though. And then they thought, okay, it needs to get somewhere permanently. Because I guess mountain lions are supposed to be with their moms for 12 to 18 months to learn essential survival skills. And this is just 3 weeks. So it was abandoned, and now it's going to spend its life in the zoo. Which, we've talked about the zoo before, and how we might have some qualms about certain things when it comes to animal, the animals.
Well, yeah.
It worries me. But in this case, it's actually the perfect case to be in a zoo.
Care of him and
yeah.
Care he wasn't going to get other places.
I would make the argument that needs to be at home with me.
Yes, okay.
If it's going to be taught to be around humans.
If it's no longer doing the minimal human contact, the contact should be.
Well, that's what was confusing to me because it says it's receiving bottle feeds every 3 hours, but then it's also getting minimal human contact.
Oh, he's getting little pets.
I'm like, how can you have both? But okay. But now it's going to join the other mountain lions. He was Crimson. I don't know if it's he or she was introduced to another orphan kitten named Clover. Another great name for a pet.
Yeah.
And now it's going to live out the rest of its life, I guess, in the zoo enclosure, which I'm sure it won't know any different. So, yeah. But I was just thinking,
you want a pet mountain lion.
If you're getting it under great circumstances at 3 weeks
as long
old.
As you can take care of it and it can, be raised around you.
Wouldn't you be able to, I know they're not
domesticated immediately.
But wouldn't you be able to essentially have that as a house cat? They're not going to attack you in the middle of the night.
Not on purpose.
I would hope not, if that's his mom.
But, if you're playing a game with it, and it's like, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, that's true. My cats hurt sometimes when they're playing. They have sharp teeth and claws, so I guess...
Marks from cats.
Yeah, when you don't... When they wouldn't mean to, but it might hurt you. So, okay, fine, we'll put it in the zoo. But I can make the argument. It's so freaking cute! Okay, now, the video that I wanted to show you today... So this bear is pretty ambitious. She thought, well, I'll just take my food to go.
That's hibernation for you.
Yeah. Why do I need to take something out of the dumpster when I could just take the whole dumpster? So this happened in Farmington, Connecticut. And somebody spotted this right outside their condo. Started recording.
She looks not positive how this is going to go.
She's got a family to feed. She's looking around, making sure everybody's safe. You could see the cubs are around too. You know, she's like, oh, there's something in there that can feed my family. A little fast food. So I'll just take it with me.
It almost looks like she's trying to get in and didn't know it had wheels.
That's true.
But yes, at the start,
but I'd like to think she has got a little more personality or plan than that.
Okay, yeah. At this point, yeah, she's still doing it.
Yeah, that's true. She's still doing it. She's like, I might as well just take this whole thing back to the woods with me.
Do you remember that time that people thought that there were bears, but they were actually people in
bear suits?
People thought there were people in bear suits.
People in bear suits, yes, but they just look
bears. Yeah,
this could be a person in a bear suit.
If you told me this was a person in a bear suit, I would not.
Yeah. I mean, she's great on her hind legs. She's great at multitasking.
And keeps looking around like, is anybody watching this?
Yeah.
Is anybody going to help me with this?
The movements are very human-like, I do have to say. It really does. Now that you say that, it really does look like a human could be in there.
I can't tell if it's looking over the shoulder, trying to be like, is anybody watching, or if it's like, hey, somebody help.
She's like, am I going to get away with this?
Yeah, I don't know which way it is, but there's some personality there, and I like it.
So just a reminder, bears are out and about this time of year, and you're not supposed to leave your trash out, I guess, in Connecticut, out on the side of the road, right, like that. I don't know what your other option is,
even
but
in a whole dumpster.
Maybe the solution is lock the wheels.
Maybe
that would be the best option. They can't get away with it, but it was a great video. I love it. Okay, when we come back,
food.
We're gonna talk some food. I feel like my mic is going out. I had a question posed to me by my in-laws yesterday, and I didn't know how to answer it. And the question was, what do Americans typically eat on Easter? And I had to think long and hard about this.
Yeah.
I don't think there is one correct or obvious answer, but we're going to discuss it when we come back.
In Joplin, being a good role model starts at home. When we roll our carts, we're teaching the next generation how to care for our community. And when the next generation rolls with it, the future's looking bright. Because recycling keeps Joplin's future rolling forward. Recycle. It's how we roll. Learn more at joplinrecycles.com.
It's a celebration 100 years in the making. The National Route 66 Centennial Kickoff Celebration presented by Vital Farms, featuring new landmarks, exhibits, car shows, a kickoff concert, and more. Visit Route66Kickoff.com for complete details.
Welcome to the Lake of the Ozarks. Hi, I'm Jordan Salisbury, the owner and founder of the Salisbury Real Estate Team and Salisbury Property Management. Born and raised here at Lake of the Ozarks, I've loved growing up here, and I'm now raising my young family here.
I don't see any fish.
I've been selling the lake for almost 20 years, and we specialize in selling and managing lakefront property. So whether you're buying like a local, staying like a local, we want you to live like a local.
Americans rely on The Hill for politics and policy news more than any other digital politics publication. Inside the Beltway, it's an essential read for lawmakers and influencers. And beyond the Capitol, The Hill's trusted content reaches millions of people like you. So next time you want to share the big story out of D.C., make sure it's from The Hill. TheHill.com is America's most shared political news brand for a reason. Trusted, credible, nonpartisan. Visit TheHill.com today.
What do you eat for Easter?
That is the question. So, my in-laws are in town. My mother-in-law and my two sisters-in-law.
Did you have to make them food?
No, because...
Okay, because you're... Never mind. Yeah, I remembered. You have an excuse.
But no, they are very nice, and they
That's
love to cater to us when they're in town anyway.
Yeah.
You know, the Mexican culture, it's just... It's great for that kind of thing.
Which is where you get to what Americans...
Yeah, so
what do they eat in Mexico?
They went exactly. So they went to Wally World yesterday and to get some groceries because they wanted to make us the traditional Mexican meal, which I later found out we had it on Sunday. What we ate was typically they have a whole weekend of them On Fridays, they typically eat something. Saturdays, they typically maybe it's leftovers, and then Sunday they typically have. I think it's baby goat, which I've heard about this. Their baby goat is essentially like a turkey or a ham. That's for the big events they sometimes traditionally have like a baby goat.
Bailey, why is it got to be a baby?
Well, people eat lamb.
Okay, all right. Yeah,
it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. Yeah.
Sure.
So, but they did the Friday version. So
I've never thought of food on Good Friday. That's not what I associate with that.
Yeah, I guess.
We always had
we had the Good Friday version
and stuff, but I've
last night.
Yeah, but I would never think of yes, we got to go have this food.
It was absolutely delicious. It was a lentil soup with some potato cakes, like fried potato cakes, like mashed potatoes, but in a fried cake form. And then we had enchiladas on the side. I'm not sure about the enchiladas, if that was like the most traditional for that, but the lentil soup, which you wouldn't think would be inherently Mexican.
No.
But it was good.
Is it inherently Easter?
I guess that's what they always have on the Fridays and Easter. So then they ask me, I'm eating it. I'm like, wow, this is absolutely delicious. I'm going to eat it all. Amazing.
Are they Catholic? Is that part of it?
It is. There's a majority Catholic.
And then they have the whole don't eat meat over Lent thing. Okay, I can see how they would have more food tied into.
Well, that would make sense.
Yeah.
On a Friday to have the lentil soup and then have the potato cakes. That makes sense now that you say that.
It's all fitting together.
And then the enchiladas had cheese only. So that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. So.
But it is weird because I don't know that Americans have as good of an explanation for why they eat what they eat on.
Exactly.
Easter.
So then they ask me, well, what do you guys typically eat?
Sure.
The only thing I could think of, I'm like racking my brain about what we
I think
ate.
you said this.
And all I can think of is deviled eggs. Because
those are really
those are a hit in a lot of households. And I love deviled eggs.
The whole meal is just deviled eggs. To be fair, I saw a video over the weekend or something of somebody being like, here's a recipe for deviled eggs. And I was like, I never get these, but it must have been.
I make them sporadically throughout the year, and they are absolutely amazing. And I told my in-laws I would make them yesterday. Then I ran out of energy and I died. But
on here it says ham. That's what I would have thought of.
So then, I pulled the newsroom too. Everybody said ham.
Okay, good.
I don't know about the sides.
I was gonna say my first thought was Jell-O eggs. I don't know if anybody else does that. Is that not a thing other places?
I haven't heard of that.
It's like an egg mold, but it has Jell-O inside. Okay,
No, I haven't heard of that.
And then this is Peeps and chocolate bunnies, and I'm like, there we go. Now
candy.
Now we're talking.
So then, I had asked if they did a lot of candy.
Sure.
And they said no, that's not a thing. And the hunting for the Easter eggs is not that kind of thing because I guess that's separate from the religious part. But
sure. Okay. Well,
but then I was looking around and it said crawfish, which may be specific to Louisiana, but. Yeah, so crawfish also could be an Easter thing, but it took me a while. And lamb or roast beef, maybe some carrots. That all is making sense to me now.
For the Easter bunny.
That's what we landed on: ham, some carrots, and deviled eggs. That's what we have in the U.S. after you get home from church on Easter Sunday. Yeah. All right, well, that's gonna do it for us. Thanks for being with us. You can see, I started this off sad, and I'm happy now.
We cheered her up, guys.
My contacts are working great. I'll see you tonight on the news.
An ETF for your cash? That's genius. ProShares Genius Money Market ETF, IQMM, the largest money market ETF in the world. Learn more at ProShares.com/IQMM.
And Progressive makes getting claim support so easy.
Joe Lyons is passive progressive.
Wow, they support you, Grandma supports you. You're a lucky guy.
Joe doesn't have progressive and takes it out on those who do.
And Progressive makes it easy to make changes to my policy.
Oh, great. You can add Sarah here.
It's Julie.
Right. Sarah was the one your mom really liked. Hi, Julie.
I'm putting my Progressive savings towards another cruise.
Look how young you were.
Don't be passive progressive.
Look how cute you were.
Get good coverage and savings for yourself.
Before you could talk.
It's a celebration 100 years in the making. The National Route 66 Centennial Kickoff Celebration presented by Vital Farms. Featuring new landmarks, exhibits, car shows, a kickoff concert, and more. Visit Route66Kickoff.com for complete details.
Welcome to the Lake of the Ozarks. Hi, I'm Jordan Salisbury, the owner and founder of the Salisbury Real Estate Team and Salisbury Property Management. Born and raised here at Lake of the Ozarks, I've loved growing up here, and I'm now raising my young family here.
I don't see any fish.
I've been selling the lake for almost 20 years, and we specialize in selling and managing lakefront property. So whether you're buying like a local, staying like a local, we want you to live like a local.
When you're up with the sun, it's time to roll. And Maverick has everything you need to tackle any adventure that's waiting for you. So head on in. We've got fuel, food, and refreshment ready for you and your best friend. Maverick, adventure's first stop.
Ooh, pretty colors. Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
What's going on? I'm Rich DeMiro, and welcome to Rich on Tech Weekly. Well, I hope you're having a